I must say, I think this is the first time I've actually addressed an audience that's sober, which is a little bit worrying for me. But what I want to talk about is bloggers versus blaggers. Because, let's face it, there are some great food bloggers out there. And looking around, I can see a few of them stood here today. Now, they are the people who have got a real interest in food, who understand it, understand the importance, and really want to promote it. Now, my own background, just to tell you where I come from, I write a blog called Local and Great, and I'll give you a card later. You don't get away with nothing at the end of this. But what I concentrate on entirely is really good local producers, really good markets, really good chefs and restaurants, wherever I happen to be. So it may be here in Wales. Quite often it's over in Italy. A lot of the time it's over in Ireland. What I will not touch are multinationals, huge chains, and people who are just in it to make a buck. What we need to do is support local producers. So if I find something good, then I will write about it. If I find a really good restaurant that's doing good stuff, then yes, I'll write about it. But the key thing is, I won't tell people. I go in and I will have a meal. If it is really good, I might then say to the chef or the manager, whoever's available, I really enjoyed that. I think what you're doing with X is really good. I want to write about it, and you'll find it here. Now, with the blaggers, and there are an awful lot of those around, and many of them get their comments under things like TripAdvisor, because what they're looking for is to get something for nothing. Absolutely no question about it. The kind of people who will tell a restaurant in advance, I am coming to your thing, and by the way, I will be reviewing you. So unless the chef actually grovels across the floor on his knees with 5 amused bouches and upscales them considerably, puts a couple of free bottles of wine on the table, they're going to slag him absolutely mercilessly. And in fact, I was reading a couple of rather good retorts by chefs who'd had exactly that happen to them, where people had come out. I mean, one was absolutely brilliant. Slagged the hell out of the restaurant, the food, the service, the ambience, the lot. And the chef replied and said, I'm awfully sorry you felt that way. I note that the other people on your table didn't, that in fact the meal that you said was absolutely inedible, you finished 90% of. All you're looking to do is to get some kind of comp for the next time you come back. Now, I don't wish to embarrass you, particularly not in front of the people who I assume were your parents, by the way they were cringing at your comments during service. But it has to be said, it ain't going to happen. The other group who really annoy me, and those are the people who will write about anything, provided it's free. Only the other day, I read a tweet that said, thank you, Walkers, for your massive delivery of crisps. I mean, they're bloody crisps, and I mean, Walkers aren't even good crisps anyway. If I really wanted a good crisp, I'd have Pipers with the magic Hallamon sea salt on it. Or the people who kind of say, thank you, Kraft. I just had a huge delivery of Angel Delight, and then proceed to produce 105 recipes for Angel Bloody Delight. The people who will write about E-numbers on a plate purely because they get them. The kind of people who get some sort of really crap, JML kitchen whiz gadget, and then proceed to write about that for centuries without realizing that what they're doing is a huge disservice to anybody who's involved in food, anybody who actually likes food, and quite possibly JML themselves, because they don't know how to write, they don't know what the hell they're on about, but they just insist on doing it. Now, I don't know whether there are any of those in this particular audience. If there are, I'd welcome their attempting to defend themselves in public, but it really does annoy me. We have got great produce. We need to support it, but we don't do it by wandering up to somebody and saying, I think I'm going to review your bacon. How many slabs are you going to give me? That's a rather good beer you have there. Stick a couple of things in and I won't write a bad review about it. That's absolutely wrong. And picking up on points from earlier, the TripAdvisor thing, absolutely right. People who enjoy something rarely write about it. People who don't are more than happy to share it with the world. And the world doesn't deserve such appalling stuff. It really doesn't deserve the bad writing. It really does not deserve the poorly formed opinions. It really does not deserve people who know nothing whatsoever about food, about restaurants, about the way of life, about producers, actually going into print and saying, well, this is my opinion. It may be an opinion, but it's absolutely bloody worthless. There are really great bloggers. People who blogged here, have ranted here in the last couple of years. Do you remember Neve Shields, who came over and spoke about the decline of home economics in schools? Neve is a great food blogger. She's also a great food writer and has had a couple of books published. You know, they have made their move. Donald Skehan, the guy who did Junior MasterChef as a judge over here and is regularly on the food channel, the Good Food channel. He started off as a blogger, but he knew about food. So what I would say to you is, if you're going to read blogs about food, read blogs by people who know it, who understand it, who don't have an interest in getting anything out of it, but just recognize that a product is good, it's local, it's seasonal, it's sustainable, or whatever, and want to share that with the world. Because food bloggers are well worth reading. Food blaggers, I have no time for, and I hope in future you won't either. Thanks very much.
I just want to say, Bill, that your bag of free food is on the right here waiting for you. It's over there.
Sorry. May I just say, I would never blog for anything, unless, of course, it was that wonderful, pure, fantastic, rude health breakfast foods that I understand I'm now required to promote across all universities in all places for the next 500 years. It is at least proper food.